Hi, everyone. Topic 2, Lesson 2, Subtracting of Rational Numbers. If you recall from Lesson 1, rational numbers are the set of positive and negative decimals and fractions and mixed numbers, and even your integers are considered rational numbers. And today we're going to look at how we subtract them. So if you recall from earlier topics, whenever we had to subtract integers, we followed this rule of keep change opposite, and we are going to apply that thinking for these three examples. So make sure you understand keep change opposite before we move on. If we look at the first problem, negative 4 and 53 hundredths minus 15 and 2/10. It is a subtraction problem, so again, I'm going to write KCO underneath what I change and take the opposite. So I'm going to keep the negative 4.53. I'm going to change the subtraction sign into an addition sign, and I'm going to take the opposite of 15.2, which is negative 15.2. And now that we've converted it to its equivalent addition problem, we follow the rules for adding integers. These signs are the same, so I'm actually going to add these two numbers together and just make this final answer negative 15.2. Remember, when we add decimals, the most important thing is to line those decimals up. Plus 4.53. Some of us like that 0 there. So we get 3. 2 and 5 is 7. Again, decimal comes straight down. We get a 9, and then we have a 1 there. And since these are both negative numbers, I need to make sure that my final answer is negative. So we get negative 19.73 or negative 19 and 73 hundredths. Moving on to our fraction example, same situation. I have negative 2/5 minus negative 1/3. So again, I'm going to apply the KCO strategy. I'm going to keep the negative 2/5. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, and I'm going to take the opposite of negative 1/3, which is 1/3. So we convert that into negative 2/5 plus 1/3. Again, anything adding or subtracting fractions, we have to have a common denominator. So I'm going to use 15 as my common denominator. 5 times 3 gives me 15, so I have to do negative 2 times 3, which is going to give me negative 6. This is still going to be plus. Over here on the other side, my denominator was 3. It is now 15. So that is a pattern of times 5. So that means I have to multiply the 1 times 5, giving me 5/15. In this addition problem of negative 6/15 plus 5/15, the signs are different. So I'm actually going to subtract. 6 minus 5 equals 1. And then, of course, we're going to put that over 15. And since negative 6 is further from 0 than positive 5, my final answer has to be negative 1/15. Make sure you're following all those steps for the fractions. I know that's a little tricky. There's a lot going on there, but you've worked with fractions quite a bit. We should be able to handle that. And last but not least, let's look at the mixed number problem. We have 4 and 2/3 minus negative 5 and 1/8. Again, subtraction problem, going to apply the KCO method. I'm going to keep 4 and 2/3. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to addition, and I'm going to take the opposite of negative 5 and 1/8, which is just 5 and 8. Again, mixed numbers, fractional parts here. I have to have a common denominator. I know that I'm going to add them because this addition problem now has two positive numbers. So 4 and 2/3, I'm going to rename as 4 and 16 over 24. Just multiply the denominator of 3 by 8 and the numerator by 8. And then my 5 1/8 is going to become 5 3/24. I multiplied that denominator of 8 by 3 and that numerator of 1 by 3 to get 5 3/24. And now I can combine everything together. 4 plus 5 is 9. 16/24 plus 3/24 is 19/24. And since they were both positive numbers, I'm going to keep them as positive. Again, tricky, lots of little things involved here. You need to make sure you 100% understand how to work with mixed numbers, finding common denominators, and now you're just going to apply those integer rules that you learned in topic 1. You can go ahead and pause the video, try the 3 example problems down at the bottom, and then come back and check your work, please. All right, I noticed a little typo here on the mixed number. Make sure you understand this is supposed to start out as a subtraction problem. And then please double check your work. Make sure, again, you are understanding everything that is happening, particularly with the fractions and the mixed numbers, with renaming the fractions and finding common denominators and all that stuff. I tried to put explanations on why I was subtracting or adding and why the final answer was positive or negative. Again, if you have any questions, please make sure you are asking one of your teachers for help.